Hey Sagittarius, thanks for joining me for your mid-month checkpoint reading. So I've got a little channeled message for you before we get into your cards. Spirit gave me a phrase that I've heard from them once before. And so now they're having me share that personal message with you, which is the phrase is, I've decided to trust this. You can stop spending any extra bandwidth on questioning whether you are worth it, whether you can do it, whether it's going to be a thing. All of these things that you may be kind of questioning yourself or wondering and worrying. Spirit is showing me the Chariot card. If there is something that you're like, I want this, and I'm talking long haul. I'm talking like, this is my vocation, or this is my family, or this is my goal, my dream. I've decided to trust this. When you go on a road trip and you hit a little bit of traffic, or you blow out a tire, or you take a wrong turn and you end up getting lost for an hour and a half, you don't go, well, San Francisco just doesn't fucking exist. I'm never going to make it. God doesn't want me to get there. This is a sign. We don't do that, right? We go, oh, well, took a wrong turn. I'll figure it out. Oh, tire blew out. I'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? And that's big Sagittarius energy. So I feel like that's why Spirit is using that metaphor. So what is it that maybe you need to decide to trust? And hint, it has to do with only you. It doesn't have to do with like, I've decided to trust my shitty cheating boyfriend. That's not what I'm fucking talking about. I'm talking about something for you. Okay? Okay. Okay. Sagittarius, we are at the mid-May checkpoint, Spirit. At this point in the month, what do you want to share with Sagittarians? Sun, moon, rising, and dominant. For their highest good, Spirit, we want to know what is showing up for Sagittarius and how are they showing up? What are the themes and dynamics operating at this point in the month, Spirit, and what can Sagittarius know, do, or embody to step into the most fulfilling, abundant, fun, secure future possible? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, Spirit now is showing me like a pilgrimage. So some of you, this of course won't apply to everybody, but some of you may literally be taking a pilgrimage, like, and you could be doing something formal, like I'm going up a mountain, I'm going on a retreat, or you could be like, I really want X thing to happen. And I'm, you know, Spirit is now playing the song, I would walk 500 miles. Any of my 80s, 90s kids? Anybody? I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to end up at your door. So Spirit is like, is there something that you want really badly, and would you be willing to like go on a pilgrimage for it? To take a 5 or 10 mile walk, even if it's not to some special destination, but you say, okay, well, this is what I'm willing to do, and I'm going to go on this walk, and I'm going to, you know, basically talk and listen to Spirit and look out for the signs that show up and things like that. Spirit walk is what they're saying. We haven't even gotten into the cards. Let's go. Hey, go on a little journey. Go, go clear your head and let some lessons integrate. Okay, we'll keep going. Very Sagittarian. I mean, a journey card right when Spirit was like, the Chariot and this and that, like you're going somewhere. Wow. Wow. All the major arcana. Okay, we need one more. Thank you, Spirit. I've decided to trust this. Don't do this. Don't do this, Sagittarius. That's like overthinking it, right? Which would be uncommon for Sagittarians, but we all have a much more thorough chart than, oh, I'm a Sagittarius. You know what I mean? Maybe you have like Mercury conjunct Pluto in an air sign. And so it's like, yeah, I do overthink sometimes or whatever. So who knows? But I need one more, Spirit. I want to know, how can things change in the future when Sagittarius does decide to trust this, does decide that they can move forward with what they have and trust the journey. Closing out all of society, and you can make the journey. I mean, pilgrimage, hermit, spirit always, like, just stuns me. Okay, so you've been through it. You've been working at something, and there's been a little bit of conflict along your way. Now is the time to take what you have learned from that conflict, from that struggle, from that perhaps fight, or even like a bit of a defeat or whatever, right? Different things for different Sagittarians. It's a general reading. But the point is, there are these swords in your body, these wounds. And if we can pull the swords out and keep the lesson so the wound can close. You know what I mean? I do not need to keep the sword in my body so that every time somebody brushes up against my insecurity or my fear of success or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, no, let me take that shit out. I can remember that. Oh, I have a fear of success, or I have a fear of failure, or whatever. And I will let that be right here out in the open where I can see it. A lesson, a guiding post, right? Like a guidepost for what I'm trying to do. And I will move on. The Strength card in the current situation, beautiful card. A card of courage, a card of being kind to yourself. And then from there, I want to jump straight to the heart of the matter, which is the Queen of Cups. Reflecting lovingly on your emotions, on your soul, on your spirit. The Queen of Cups is so serene. And you can see that she makes her place of power right at the edge of the ocean. So the ocean is calm sometimes, and the ocean is torrential and crazy and torrid sometimes, right? She's comfortable with all of it. She doesn't make a judgment about any of it. She reflects on it. She is with it because she's like, oh, you know, the ocean is it's a little crazy right now. Okay, so we're feeling a little crazy right now. And just in that simple acceptance and that gentle reflection, some of the craziness, some of the wildness, some of the operatic fearfulness drops down just because it's like, oh yeah, I'm a little scared. That's okay. Yeah, fear can be here. Fear can be here. And taking deep breaths and being with it and not like, oh no, not fear, not fear, not fear. I gotta go. I gotta change something. You know what I'm saying? Your fear is showing you something. And if you will treat your fear and your fearful parts with love, they will mature and grow into something that is able to face it with you. You know what I'm talking about? Judgment is showing up as the situation arising, the situation that is unfolding. And judgment is recognition and commitment. I've decided to trust this. Like, Spirit is using the phrase parts work. So some of you may be therapists, or some of you may be working with therapists, or maybe you just need to go on a Google adventure because you might learn some useful information about working with the different parts of ourselves. So the 5-year-old in you might not completely agree with the adult in you that's like, this is my goal. The 5-year-old might be like, remember that time we got up to do our book report and everybody laughed and then we peed our pants and it was the most humiliating experience of our whole lives? And that makes you want to stop figuring out how to tour all over the country. You know what I mean? But like super fucking low key. So be with your fears, be with your desires, be with your urges, and be kind to them. Be the Queen of Cups with them, like a good therapist would. Like if somebody is sitting across from a therapist and they tell them something that is like outrageous or that for the average person would be shocking, a good therapist is not going to be like, oh my God, you what? You think what? You do what to yourself? Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to be like, oh, why do you think you do that? How does it make you feel when you do that habit or whatever? And they help you reveal things to yourself so that you can then make a decision instead of, oh, my lion jumped out. Oh, you scared the shit out of me, so my Sagittarian sense of humor leapt out and cut you a little bit. Oops, didn't even mean to do that. Oops. So that's something that they're saying. That won't apply for everybody. Now, in the short-term future, the Emperor. I like to see the Emperor. It's a powerful card, taking control, getting organized. I'm hearing the word systematizing. So some of you really have a goal that's like If I can put one foot in front of the other, if I can just keep to the beat, and that's what Spirit is saying, if I could just keep to the beat, then I'm going to be able to have what it is that I want. So, what are the small, unsexy steps and like admin things and anything that you can automate, systematize, including habits? Like, oh, well, I really want to exercise. So, I brush my teeth and then I work out and then I shower and then my day starts and I've already done the thing that I wanted to do. You know what I'm talking about? Systematize, simplify, and Spirit is saying that that organization can be a little bit of an antidote and like a preemptive strike against the Nine of Swords. Of like, what am I going to do? I don't even know what's happening. I'm completely out of control. You can clear that by getting with yourself now, because that is sitting in the long-term future. So here's your yellow light to be like, hey, if you do not engage with any fears or hesitations or insecurities now, they may rise to an operatic volume that you cannot ignore later. So you may want to engage with them now while you're in this strength era of like, okay, let me recognize that when I integrate all those parts of myself, I will be more powerful as the whole. You know what I'm saying? Greater whole, some parts. Anybody? Anybody? The Nine of Swords, clarified by the Hermit, is pretty amazing because the Hermit is, I can imagine them walking up to the Nine of Swords person, gently taking their hands off their face and being like, let's look together. Because the Hermit trusts the light inside of them, and that if there is something they don't know, then they go on that pilgrimage and they will figure it out. So they don't have the Nine of Swords anxiety. They have patience. They have compassion. They've graduated from the Queen of Cups school, which is what you want to do this mid-month, Sagittarius. Care for your feelings, and then, systematize and automate things that take care of those feelings. Okay, I know I'm going to meet my goals because I'm working on them 30 minutes a day or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like, or my inner child is really freaked out and scared. So I make time every day or every couple days or once a week or whatever to engage with that part of myself so that I know I'm already taking care of that. I don't have to Nine of Swords have these floating fears around me because I've grabbed them and gone, oh, okay, I'm scared of this. Here's how I will address that. Okay, here's what I will do about that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know if you know what I'm saying. For real. I'm super curious. And I just really appreciate those of you who leave thoughtful feedback. Thank you for being here, Sagittarius. I hope this is helpful for you. And if I don't see you before then I will see you in your June reading. Bye, Sag.